I grew up in a Christian family. My sister introduced us to church, the charismatic church. So most of my time was in church, being part of the drama group, the choreography group, and then also helping in Sunday school. So yes, most of my time was spent in church, and also, helping my mom at home and also in the farm. So typically, a typical day for me would be to go with my mom to the farm and my brother, and then come back, prepare for school, and after school, just help her sell her condo and cassava dough. And she also made gari. She made the best gari. It always got finished before she even finished preparing it. So those were things that I picked from her. She was very industrious, and those were skills that I picked from her growing up. But I would say I had a lot of, support and love for my brothers and sisters. But between my secondary school and my university, I'll tell you an interesting story there. So, again, as part of my upbringing, I thought I would become a doctor because I love taking care of the sick. And my sister was a nurse. And at any time where my school did a performance, I was always the nurse or the doctor. So I would wear her uniform and I looked so good. So I thought, well, that was my destiny, to be a doctor or a nurse. So when I went to secondary school, I did science. But that was when I also realized that I had passion for the arts. So I was part of the choreography group, and I would be writing poems in class. And a friend said, "Vivi, I think you should change to arts." And I said, well, if I don't become a doctor, what else? But I was struggling. I finished secondary school. I didn't do so well. I didn't do well in my elective maths, physics, and chemistry. The other subjects I passed well, but the electives I needed to move to the tertiary level. So I had to start remedial course. But it was then that I realized I was so struggling. So my mom asked me, "So what do you want to do?" And I said, well, I find my passion in the arts. And at that time, I had joined a drama group, and I was part of my church choreography group and drama group. So she said, well, then go for it, whatever you feel like you want to do. So I spoke to my director then, and he guided me to, select literature, government, and Tree. Tree is a language course in our country, in Ghana. So that's what I did. I had 6 months to write the exams. I quickly switched courses. I started classes, got one-on-one teaching, and I used 6 months to, write these general art courses and passed. And that was what got me into the School of Performing Arts at University of Ghana. And after university, I worked for a while and went back to do my master's degree in directing, in theater directing. And aside that, I've been doing courses, and I've done courses in ballet, in acrobatics, and other areas. So yeah, that's a bit about my educational background. If I had to go back in time, what will I do differently in my educational background? I don't think I'll change a thing. I believe my past has everything was on purpose. I always say nothing is a mistake. Even me failing some of my science subjects, somebody would say, maybe if you hadn't, taken science in secondary school, you wouldn't have it. But every journey I've taken, every single action that has happened in my past has brought me this far. So I wouldn't change anything. Rather, it's made me a lifelong learner, because there are other areas that I've become interested in based on the work I do, such as, going deeper into the human anatomy. Again, which comes back to the science that I feel, because I didn't run, it's come full circle. Because although I didn't continue in science, now even in dance, there's still science. And I'm also going into child psychology, because we work with a lot of children and young people. For my PhD, I'm looking at understanding how child psychology works, so that we can have more impact, like positive impacts in the lives of the children we serve. So I'm a lifelong learner, and education is, it doesn't end in the classroom. So I'm still learning. What motivates me to be successful, and why do I have to succeed? There's something I share with my team and with our students. I tell them that everybody has something valuable to share, so they should find it, what that is, and fully express it. And I believe that we are all in this world to contribute to the success of this world, to make the world a better place. And so by success, it means living our God-given, a purpose, why we are here, finding why we are here and living it out fully, not just for ourselves, but to make others better. And that's, for me, is success. When other people, lives become better because we lived, because we stayed true to who we are, because we also contributed and added value. And for me, that is what success means. And why is it important to be successful? Like I said, as children of God, we need to shine our light. Then we can't be wasting oxygen in this world. We need to use that to make an impact. And that is what I seek to do, especially even with the work I do at Vivi's Dance and Theatre Academy. And like I told you earlier, I love the word Doctor of Souls, which one of my mentors gave me, because it's because I believe in healing broken confidence. And again, when it comes to children in Africa, especially in Ghana, you find a lot of them don't have voice, and sometimes we wait till we are old to even discover why we are here and what we are made of and what we've been given. And so it's a mandate that I have to ensure that children, young people discover that early and then succeed with it. 2 unforgettable moments in my life. The first, which I can never forget, would be when I was pregnant with twins and I lost one in my womb. Then I was teaching. I thought, pregnancy was not a disease. I was like going on and on. And there was discordance in growth because as a result of me always, active and moving about and things like that. So I had to be put on bed rest for about a month. And from there, they noticed that, I'd lost one child, so I had to be referred, to a bigger hospital. And eventually, I was losing the second baby, so I had to go under a cesarean session. And when the baby came out, she was 900 grams, like less than 1 kilogram. And people always talk about the bouncing baby, boy or girl, that's all I'd seen. But to see a preemie, it scared me. When I was ushered into the NICU and I saw my baby in the incubator, I was like, is that a baby? So tiny. When I put her here and wear a shirt, you maybe see that a human being was there. That season was a crazy one for me. From there, when we eventually moved to kangaroo mother care, that I lost myself in that season. But also it was that season where my calling, to step up and step forward and then, build Vivi's Dance and Theatre Academy came strong, because in my brokenness, God called me and I found purpose. So although it was a dark moment, I still see it as it was a season of, coming back strong. So yeah. And then another moments, maybe this one would be a happy one. I remember telling my team, this year I took 5 people to New York. 3 of my teachers who have been teaching ballet with me for quite some time. We eventually, prepped them and got them scholarships to do their American Ballet Theatre teacher certification in New York. And then 2 of our students also got into a dance school in America to do their summer intensive. And when that happened, I knew that, when we say people have arrived, I told my team, I said, I think I can retire and I'll be happy, because, that joy when you see the team, the people you work with, you see them work up to a certain point and achieve something, that you also have. It's fulfilling, and for me, that's one of the joyful moments for me, again, as an entrepreneur.